theory comprises with the symmetry operations and the symmetry elements, and our discussion would be mainly concentrating on the groups that comprises the symmetry operations and the symmetry elements. Now there is a difference between the symmetry operation and symmetry elements. Symmetry operations are the actions like rotation, like reflection, like inversion. It's an action which produces indistinguishable structure from your starting element. So any kind of operation which produces you a kind of structure which is indistinguishable from the parent one, we say it as a symmetry operation. It's an action, and it can be a rotation along a particular axis, it can be reflection along a particular plane, etc. It can be inversion through a particular point, etc. So rotation, reflection, inversion, these operations are called symmetry operations. On the other hand, symmetry elements are the few geometrical entities that actually is needed for doing this operation. Like I may be rotating the particular molecule along a particular axis. So that particular axis is called symmetry element. And the rotation is called symmetry operation because rotation along a particular axis for a particular degree will produce me the similar indistinguishable structure. So symmetry elements can be an axis, can be a plane, can be a point through which the operations are being performed. Now, if we look into the groups, like how the symmetry operations or the symmetry elements of a particular molecules share a particular relation in between them, then we will find out that they form a group. Group means a collection of entities which actually follow few certain rules. If those rules are followed, we say that this collection of elements are forming a group. Now this group may be an arithmetic group which a few numbers are following. It can be formed by the few geometrical entities like symmetry elements, by symmetry operations, etc. So group is a collection of elements, but not a simple collection. That collection has to follow few certain rules. What are those rules? If those certain operations or the elements are following those particular rules, then only we say that they form a particular group. The first one is that every element of that particular group will have a reciprocal to it. So every element should have reciprocal, and that reciprocal is also an element of the group. That means suppose one of the symmetry operation is arm and it has a reciprocal. Reciprocal means the opposite symmetry operation. Suppose that is ace. Now if we take the multiplication in a group means not the arithmetic multiplication. Rather, we should say it as a combination because multiplication cannot be done if it is not two numbers. If these are two numbers, then the multiplication stands good or the holds good, the same meaning, that is in the arithmetic. But what about if it is a rotation and an inverse rotation? A rotation by 180 degree and the inverse rotation of 180 degree, right? In that case, this is not a simple arithmetic multiplication. Then we must say it's a combination. But in the group theory language, we say it as a product. When we write RS, we mean that S is left multiplied by the R, or the S symmetry operation is left multiplied by the R, or the R symmetry operation is right multiplied by the S. Actually, what do we mean? We mean that first we perform the symmetry operation S on the molecule, and then we perform the R symmetry operation on the same molecule. We do express this kind of combination of the operation by the multiplication. So we say RS equal to E, where E is do nothing operation. If that is the case, do nothing operation. If that is the case, we say S is actually R inverse, that it is the inverse of the symmetry operation. Number 2, every group must have some element which will commute with everyone. So must have an element to commute with all operations or the entities of the group. What do we say? What do we mean by commute? Commutation by arithmetic, if we say, then it is 2 into 3, that is equal to 3 into 2. Now, of course, if it is a number, if it is an arithmetic group, then definitely every element will commute with each other. So that means if we multiply 3 by 2, it becomes exactly the equal if we multiply 2 by 3. But when it is not an arithmetic group, when it is not a number, then it means that suppose I have done a particular symmetry operation X, and then I am performing another symmetry operation A on the same molecule, the result would be exactly the same if we do it with A and then follow it with X. That means, suppose I have performed X on the element and then we are performing A symmetry operation on the element. The result, the product that I am going to get is exactly the same if we perform A on the molecule and then followed by the X symmetry operation. Now, if this is the case, we say that A and X commute with each other. So, the rule says that at least one element should be there in the group which commutes with every element of the group. Not necessarily all the elements of the group are going to commute with each other, but at least one element should be there in the group which is going to commute with the every element of the group, and that is called the identity element or E. So E is going to commute with every element of the group. Ex is going to be Xe. So when I'm making a group, I must have one element in the group in such a way that it is going to commute with every element in the group. Number 3 is the associative law should hold good. What is this associative law? Associative law means A, B, C equal to A, B into C. I'm sure that all of you have learned this associative law when you were doing mathematics in your schools. Like in class 8, class 9, you must have come across this particular rule. Here it means, suppose my group comprises of few symmetry operations A, B, C, D, etc. Now I have done the symmetry operation C on the molecule and then followed by B on the same molecule. Then I have done A on the symmetry operation A on the same molecule. The result that I will be obtaining is exactly the same if I do first B followed by A and then multiplied by C. Here again I must tell you, multiplication does not mean the arithmetic multiplication. Rather, it is the combination. So the combination, whether I am doing the C operation and the B operation first and then doing the A operation, the product or the combined result is exactly the same if I am doing the B operation followed by the A operation and the C operation. So this is the associative law. The last law is the product of any two elements in the group is also the member of the group. That means if we follow this one, the product of any two elements of the group. Suppose I have a group comprises of few symmetry operations A, B, C, D, etc., etc. The product of any two elements B and C is also an element of the group. That means the product means if I combine the symmetry operations C and B, then the combination result, the effect of the effect on the molecule is exactly the same by some other symmetry operation of the same group on the same molecule. So this is, suppose if the BC is a combination, is the product is going to give me the another symmetry operation D, then D is also a member of the group. This is one of the four, the very important rule of the group theory. And these are the four rules that a combination should follow to make a group. If they are following these four rules, then only we will say that they are forming a group.